Hey everybody, this is Mr. Todd in Stories and Solutions. Today I have Niko from the Local Talent Podcast based out in Vegas. Niko's been in the industry, and that's actually where we met. He's a real cool guy and has done a lot of things. So this would be a pretty interesting sit down. It's more or less to get to know him and see the things he does. And you could check him out on the Local Talent Podcast. That's there, and NEG Media Pro is the production company, and there's going to be some cool projects we're coming up with, and stay tuned. So your podcast is called the Local Talent Podcast, and did you want to say like anything, like how do you describe it?
I describe it as a husband and wife that like to cook up some food and interview some guests, and we talk about cannabis, mental health, sex, marriage, and then we, talk about their talents, whoever the guests we interview.
That's really good. That's cool. Yeah, I know yours is I say more risque than what I do, but I mean I talk about anything, but I just know that I guess I'm like more mellow, so it's more just a different vibe. But I
Mhm.
like yours. Well, duh, like I consider you my friend. So
Yeah, man. Thanks for the
yeah,
support. You followed from the beginning.
yeah, man. So NEG Media Pro, is that you? Is also, or is that like a group thing?
Yeah, that's my DBA, doing business as name for my production company. My actual LLC for the production is All Ins LLC. So it's like moved out to Vegas. The INS in the All Ins is Niko and Stephanie, the NNS. So it's kind of
Oh,
like
okay,
yeah, All Ins. We're in Vegas.
got you.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool. And then the NEG, yeah, my initials, media producer. Um, that's me. It's right now. It's me. It's my wife. It's anybody who I hire or anybody who believes in the project. Um, they're part of NEG Media Pro.
Do you have aspirations to be in like film itself, like for you to be in film?
I mean, yeah. I mean that would be always be cool because scripted typically makes more money than unscripted these days. So um, yeah, I mean that would be dope if I would like maybe make my own movie one day or I guess I've always told people these days, when you see Michael Bay, and you see a billboard, or a movie that says Michael Bay, you're like, oh, dope. I'm gonna go see that movie. Or you know what to expect of Michael Bay. It's gonna be fucking high explosions. It's gonna be big ass shit. It's gonna be dope and
Yeah,
big, and that's Michael Bay. So I guess I don't know. People know my type of content that I shoot or I do, but I also want to be known, um, as like, oh shit, Niko's put, Neg Media Pro or Niko Galvez is putting out something. Oh, I want to go watch it, right?
I
Whether it
got
be
you.
a podcast, whether it be a movie, whether it be a commercial, whether it be a documentary, whether it be a music video. Hey, I guess that would be the aspiration to have that put out there. Maybe a Power Rangers movie one day. That'd be dope.
That's cool. Now,
Yeah.
now, you would want to be an actor as well.
Actor, producer, The Rock, he does it. He produces,
Yeah,
he acts, does it
yeah.
all. So fuck it. Yeah. The Rock's been kind of like one of my mentorees or whatever. I've always seen what he does, and he has his own production company. Him and his ex-wife had it, and then they divorced, and they still are powerhouse like business couples, and um yeah, they kind of do a lot, and it's
That's
the
it.
path I'm trying to go.
That's the same with Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt.
Uh-huh.
They had their thing. Sandra Bullock had one, or she still has one actually, right?
Hmm.
Yeah,
They
I
all
think
do. They all got their own like production companies, and it's how they like produce other movies and stuff like that, and get their own money, even more back to them.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Why am I
You're
gonna?
paying yourself.
Yeah, why am I gonna go pay somebody to go do my own shit? Now I'm just gonna get more and more money.
Yeah, yeah, I get it.
So I
That's how
guess
I am.
that would be the thing one day is to slap on like a Warner Brothers or somebody with me. So if you look at all movies and all stuff, it could say, Warner Brothers in association with
Yeah,
Neg Media Pro, right?
right.
Or a Nico Galvez documentary in association with Neg Media Pro, produced by Warner Brothers, da da da. Like, there's always multiple studios attached to a project.
Yeah, yeah, because you have like Legendary, and then you'll
Hmm.
have the parent company, and then you'll have a smaller, like a few subsidiary companies
Hmm.
because they have producers that came in from different areas.
Oh yeah, bro. I mean, you got your pre-production, you got your post-production, you get the actual shooting. I mean, multiple companies are involved in all those.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
People don't realize production takes a lot of work.
So do you have a big family, and are any of them in the business?
Um, I don't necessarily have a big family like my wife. My wife's Mexican, so she got a big old family. But I'm from Chile, South America, and I have a big family out there. But out here in America, not so much a big family, and I don't have anybody necessarily in the music business
Okay,
or entertainment. My mom, she was a stripper for she was a stripper for numerous years, and she raised me to be very liberal and outgoing, and she raised me telling me she tried to get me into commercial modeling as a kid, really young. And then just growing up, my mom always just said you're meant to be in the entertainment business, basically.
okay.
um, and then yeah, one day, man, 2019, told the wifey, let's start a podcast. She's like, yeah, sure, whatever. And saw somebody on TV that I wanted to have as a guest on my podcast. She was a VR porn director, Anna Lee.
Yeah, you just had
And
her thing on there.
yeah, we did a little Instagram live the other night. And Stephanie was cooking dinner with her. And
Yeah,
yeah, kind of just full circle, she was our first guest for the podcast. And then I started doing production from there on music videos, commercials, movies, you name it. I pretty much have done it now. Now I think my niche that I kind of like a little bit, where I want to maybe produce, and I'm getting some opportunities to produce on my own, is reality TV.
okay.
So um, yeah, maybe reality TV is where I'm at for a little bit right now.
Like the Magic Mike.
Yeah, Finding Magic Mike on HBO Max, relatively famous on E Network, and I mean those are two like back-to-back reality shows last year that I worked on. That amazing. One was in Colorado, out in Vegas, and those two shows kicked off, my success to what this year has to offer.
Yeah, when I met up with you, when I came out to Vegas, you were just doing finishing the Colorado thing.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, with all those kids, those famous kids' parents.
Yep. So what's the biggest misconception that you think is about the business on your side? I'm on the music side, so
I mean, again, they kind of go hand in hand, but at the same time, different. So, I'm barely getting into the music business producing wise, and I see some of these artists that are in studio for 12 hours. You know, I was in the studio with one artist from 8 p.m. at night, and we didn't. Well, I left at 5 in the morning, but she stayed and she didn't leave till 10 in the morning. I was like, she's grinding, right? And that's truly what music artists do.
yeah,
But in the video and the production side of this, what we do is it's not music for 12 hours. It's creating everything that you see from ground zero. So I told you earlier I'm working on Wild and Out, and we're in a studio, just like a Sony studio, a Paramount studio, but we're in a studio where that studio was empty, bro. I'm talking 5,000, maybe bigger than, no, it's bigger than 5,000 square feet, I believe, but huge ass studio. And it took a week, no, it took 2 weeks to load everything in there, all the equipment,
Wow.
building it, 5 days a week, for 2 weeks, 13-hour days, and they just finished it last Friday.
Wow.
And, now on Monday, we're going to do our rehearsals and now we start shooting and it's go time. So I guess the misconception to answer your question is, people think that you just, what you watch and what you see is like, oh, they drove there and they just turned on the camera and, boom, started
Yeah, yeah,
shooting,
yeah.
and realistically what really is no, you see, everything you hear, everything we set up from that sunrise. You think that sunrise was there? Nah, we planned that shit. I'm pretty sure there's extra light on his forehead. So it's crazy. That's the misconception, is people think that it's just set up, and it's there, and no, everything we created from scratch.
Yeah, my there's a girl I guess I can say she's my good friend, but I've known her for 30 years, and she's her husband works on America's Got Talent, and he's
Okay.
yeah, he's the rig, like the guy that they built the stage and all that stuff.
Riggers, yeah, those are hard working motherfuckers. I mean, everybody in production is pretty hard working, but those motherfuckers are daring.
What was the adjustment like going to Vegas?
Hmm. Um, I would say it was fun, because we went to Vegas with the intention of, it's entertainment capital of the world. We opened up a production company, chasing our dream of producing projects. And honestly, man, once we went out there and realized that that's what we needed to do, it was like a breath of fresh air. It was like, starting new. It was September, it was, end of 2020. So it was like, all right, let's go into 2021 with a new fresh start. So it was nice, man. It was good. It was a
That's
nice,
good.
fresh start going to Vegas.
That's good. Now, did you ever doubt yourself, or were you always positive? Because I
Oh,
have
of
a
course, always doubted. Always. I still doubt myself. Anytime, man.
oh, okay.
I always have my moments of doubt. And when I have my moments of doubt, I try to reflect back on, like, just moments of positivity that bring me back, and I have to, like, remind myself. So, coming out here, I was having moments of doubt. Literally, like, the day before I even came out here, I'm like, fuck, am I really doing the right thing? Should I really be going out and, you know, spending all this time out here on this project when I have projects at home that I need to attend to, and push my dream.
Right.
But, got to pay the bills.
I get you. I get you.
uh, I've always told myself, yeah, go do something you've never done before. So one, I've never been to Georgia, so fuck
Okay.
yeah. Um, and then two, having doubts, you just, like I said, remind yourself of positivity. Like, I follow this Lakers videographer. His name's Braden Figueroa,
Okay.
and he's a Lakers videographer. And he just posted the other day on his story. He didn't even post it, but it was a simple audio clip, and it said, "Hey, you, remember when you were a kid and you were dreaming of doing this? Well, look at you now. You're doing it." And I was like, I keep playing that over the past like 24 hours. I'm like, yeah, growing up as a kid, watching movies, watching Wild and Out when I was in high school. Damn, that'd be dope if I was on set working there. That'd be dope if, creating the content, or just, getting creative. And look, I'm fucking here.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
no, I know what you mean. When I do like music and stuff like that, like how you said, like I have doubts, but the reason why I wanted the positive people show is because, but you already answered it, was that I don't believe people can be positive all the time. I think that that's impossible because like just imbalance. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
mean, yeah, if we go back to even like old school, actors, how about like Robin Williams? He's one of my favorites when I was growing up. He
yeah,
was one of the happiest guys out there. But, from I think what I remember, he was also really depressed.
yeah. That's how he died.
Um,
Well, that's I guess why he died.
so it truly is money doesn't, give you happiness. You got to give yourself happiness.
Yeah, yeah,
If you're happy what you're doing, and if you're not happy what you're doing, then change it.
yeah,
It took me a minute to realize that all my corporate years, I was happy, but I wasn't doing what I really wanted to do. And like I said, I had to fail in order to be successful, I guess.
yeah. No, I know what you mean. Because I grew up, I was the kid where, and not too long ago, I guess 10 years ago, I was because Taj wasn't born yet, and or maybe Asia was pregnant at the time. But I, in my second bedroom, I had my studio in there, and I have pictures of like me and Teddy Riley, or me and Redman, or like that, or Method Man. And when I met them, or when I interviewed, or whatever it was, the times that I've met them, and those were my inspirations, right? And then I would always have these spaces where it would just be a little block, and I'd write the name in of who I wanted to meet or who I wanted to work with, which is one of them is like one of them was Keith Murray. But I remember I had Quincy Jones, and I had a little, it was just a piece of tape, but I put Quiet, He's Next Door. And that made me say, whatever I was working on, this gotta be as good because he can hear me on the other side. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but
Yeah.
I always told myself, I'm telling you, from high school, I was like, I remember I said in the year 2000, which was so far away, it was like I'm gonna be accepting an award, and and here I am now. It's like I don't even care about an award. I care about like the process. I like the working with the person and seeing, like how you said, like soon we're gonna see this and go, remember how we started? I forget what you wrote me, but it was on that little napkin thing. It's like how we started this, and here we are. And so
Yeah, man.
that's why I said you inspire me to feel like I can, because you show that you believe in what my dream was, because I came to you and was like, hey, would you like to work with me? Whereas most
Yeah,
people are like, I'm busy, or how much you gonna pay me, or how much is this? You know what I mean? It's like
yeah.
it's
I
not the
mean, don't get me
process.
wrong. It's a lot of like I got people all the time that I shout out to, like, yo, you down for this? You down for that project? And it is like that. It is like, when are you trying to do it? What's the rate? Because hey, we got $10 a gallon gas right now. But it always comes down to, honestly, like, just availability. Like, that's really what it comes down to. Like, if I'm available whenever you call me, like, how many times have we been trying to do the Zoom?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And it just my fault. I forgot one night, but it always comes down to availability. The money will be there, but we're all creative, so it's like, if I'm available, let's fucking do it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it, because that's
So,
me. Like I go, if I'm doing music, I tell someone, uh, hey, you want to meet up next Saturday? And then the same thing. It's like, oh, I can't go Saturday. Okay, can you go Sunday? And then, you move. It's like priorities. You know,
mhm.
if I'm sure if Chris Tucker called you and said, hey, I need you for a month in New York, you're gonna be like, hey man, I gotta go. Because this
Pretty
is,
much.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be there for sure. Jackie Chan 2, Rush Hour 5. What are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah, right. So I'm gonna ask you like two more questions, and then I want to do this thing I call rapid fire, which is just like
So,
random, like really random questions. What came first, the local talent podcast or your NEG, or was it together?
it actually The podcast officially came first. But actually, I don't know. We could probably go on the Instagram,
Oh,
and
it'll
check
tell
the
you.
yeah, check my first like kind of post and whatnot. But I would say it was 100% the podcast. Like, I again wanted to start a podcast, wanted to get creative, and the inspiration came from a podcast called Call Her Daddy.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
they blew up. It was these two chicks where basically they would go from New York, they would go out and party and then literally talk about their experiences of hooking up with all these people and all the exclusive celebrity parties, they did. Or they're like, oh yeah, I was with Jeff Bezos. We were at a party with Jeff Bezos and we saw him walking into a room with Kylie Jenner. And you're like, what? So it's like, it got me hooked. Like, motherfucker, I work on a fucking movie set with Rick Fox. I could talk about that. Yeah, let me start a podcast. And yeah, so I guess the podcast came first, and then I was like, wait a second, I'm gonna go bigger than a podcast. Hold on, I'm the one that's producing, directing. I'm doing everything. Yeah, we're doing a production company.
I got you. I got you.
So hand in hand, I guess.
That's awesome. Like, cause I honestly like I had Lunacy Productions, like my music and all that, but I never really had like my production was my room, my spare room, and when we had our house, I had like a whole section, but I didn't. I guess my biggest deal was like if I had someone come in and then I would charge them like a flat fee, like how you were saying. So like I would charge them a flat fee, and then I would tell them, um, this will be done through the summer, and I
Yeah,
need you to, and I need you to come to me at least 2 to 3 times a week, and
right.
and I would like produce him one day, tell him how to do the cadence and all that, and then another day I'd say you're gonna learn how to mix because I'm
There you
spending a
go.
lot of time.
Right. No, you're doing it right. You're doing it right. It
Yeah.
is a lot of fucking work.
What is a mistake you made, and what did you learn from it while in the business?
Hmm.
My
Mistakes.
mine was laughing at this is you're too young to know. From Dr. Dre's he produced a girl named Michelle, and
Michelet.
Michelle, yeah, it looks like Michelle, but it's like Michelle, and then the second L has an apostrophe, so Michelle.
Okay.
But
Okay.
she came into. I was working. I think I was at the warehouse. Yeah, I was working, and she came in, and but I saw her. Where was I? I want to say I was at a studio, but I was with. Yeah, I want to say I was at a studio. Like I rented, like because back then it was like these little hole in the walls, like just these cubicle things, and you rented it. And it had like a place for a mixer, and then the rest was you had to bring in your own stuff, and you didn't have like a engineer, nothing. It was like $25 an hour, and uh, well wherever I met her, I remember when I met her, uh, I saw her face, and when she speaks like Lilo and Stitch, like the you know.
What?
So when I saw her, because I heard her songs, right?
Okay.
I never heard her speak. So I said hi, and she said hi, but her voice was like hi,
Really?
like that,
Right.
right? And I couldn't stop laughing because as I didn't know. Yeah, so that was mine.
I mean, but that was a mistake. Like nothing came bad out of it though.
uh, well, if I ever want to work with her, she's gonna tell me, could jump off a bridge.
I
But
mean, you could bring up that memory. Maybe she'll remember. Gotta
no, I
have a
meant at the
moment
time.
somehow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like at that Vegas, at that the place we went to, Delilah, and you were talking
Delilah's.
in that whatever the girl up in the front, and
Hmm.
and it was like you're just like bold.
I
Like
mean, we got.
what if that backfired?
Then we would have gone to somebody else to get us in, right?
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
what did you learn, or what mistake did you make?
phew, uh, take your time. Take your time.
Interesting. Interesting.
Um,
because I've rushed a couple projects where, I look back and I'm like, if I would have just taken my time just a little bit more, um, it would have been that much better. Don't get me wrong, the projects were good, they were successful. But have I put every project out? No. Would I wish some projects could have turned out differently? Of course. Every project, every creator. But at the same time, yeah, I think the biggest thing I've learned is to take my time. And especially like even in like the production world, when I do certain jobs, like I still take my time. Like there's a sense of urgency on things, but you still gotta like take your time and thoughtfully execute what you gotta do.
So then I shouldn't be worried that when I have these hiccups, like with this documentary, that sometimes this is just the universe saying you didn't have something right or something wasn't right with them.
Yeah, I mean, for real, for real. But keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop. But yeah, you are gonna get hiccups. You are gonna maybe not hear from somebody for a couple days, a week or whatever, but follow up with your game, still do what you need to do, and you'll get what you need to do when the universe wants you to be there. Um, I didn't really necessarily have a paycheck for 6 weeks. I took Stephanie was in recovery, surgery, but I was working before that. I planned for it to take a little break, but it's like I didn't have a paycheck, and then I'm thinking, okay, what do I got to do to get some money? But always going back to the universe and straight up, like got a phone call. It always
Yeah.
happens. It's like crazy, and it's production. It's usually how it is. It's like production will call you, and then when they call you, it's just like you just take job after job after job, and then when you slow down, you slow down.
Is there anyone you wouldn't work with?
I wouldn't work with.
Yeah,
I
like in
mean,
your production. You don't have to say their name, but like, like I used to say, I never would, if I don't care if Mariah Carey came to me and was like, I heard that song you did, I'd be like, nah, it's okay.
I haven't got to that point yet, luckily enough. Um, I don't know. I've been on some shows where I'm like, fuck this producer, fuck, this production manager, or, but that's kind of like any job in essence, right? You're going to get a job where you're not liking a superior. Um, and then at the end of the day, if the project gets completed or something, where it's like, all right, I don't have to work with that person anymore, because it was so short term. So, and especially that's how it is with production. It's like, it's only 6 months. I haven't been on a project longer really than 2 months. So that's like my next thing is to jump on like a longer project, which some shows are like 3 months sometimes,
Okay.
um, or 6 months even if you get locked in really. But I don't think there's anybody yet that I'm like, if this person were to call me, I'll turn them away because realistically, if I'm gonna go work with them, it's because I'm accepting a good rate.
I get you. I get you.
That's another good thing about where I'm at now. I feel in my career, and thankfully again to my wife, for helping me support, me in my dreams. Where if a job calls me and the rate is not there, or the project or the team, I don't feel trustworthy enough to go work on it, then it's like, I'm not gonna do it, and I can turn it down. Yeah, I
Like
mean, and that's another thing too with production is like, certain jobs, you can negotiate your rate, right? Like the rates are out there, what people are supposed to be paid. It's not like secret information, but at the same time, depending on your credits and what you worked on, you can negotiate a better rate. you know so yeah, again, going back to your question, is there anybody I wouldn't work with? Not right now, because again, if I'm gonna go work on a project, one, I accepted it for a reason, and it's either for the money or for what the project is.
opportunity, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm out here in Georgia. I'm in a hotel room right now. I can't go out because one, I'm on COVID compliance, and can't be getting the Rona.
Yeah.
But I'm still making the best of it. I'm meeting people through the production company while I'm on set, and those connections will be for another project. That's kind of how this game goes. You meet somebody and you take them on for another project.
So you called them for another project.
or vice versa. Maybe I wouldn't get necessarily called to do COVID compliance. Maybe I'll get called to do, producing, or maybe I'll get called to do location management, or I'll get called because they're in Vegas and they're like, "Hey, we need this. Can you just
And they
refer
know
us
you.
this?"
So that's
And
like
they know
a
me.
scout, like a scout thing. So
Yeah,
what
they'll
do
be
you?
like, "Hey, okay, you're the Vegas dude. Let me contact the Vegas dude."
I got you. So you're there on COVID.
The position I'm in is a part of the COVID compliance
Oh,
team.
okay.
COVID compliance team is no joke. It's a big part of the budgets these days.
Yeah. So what happens when it gets relaxed? Will it still be there because of the the whole production thing, or like the risk, or do you think it'll?
I mean, it's gonna be here for a minute because realistically, it's keeping people safe from just being sick, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
You know, will it be as heavily compliant? I don't know. Like, how as big of staffing? I don't know. As many testing days? I don't know. But it's here for a while. It's here for a minute. We'll see. Maybe in a year or two, if all goes how it is, we'll see. Maybe
I
a new
see.
position will come about. A new
Yeah,
new
right,
titles. Yeah.
right. The flu for the flu, or for the
Some something, bro. You
right.
you know how social media can play it.
Oh yeah, I think that's the problem with the social media. I think that it's or the media is controlling the narrative more than life is controlling it. You know what
I
I mean?
mean, hey, look, we're all in the matrix right now, right?
For sure, for sure.
We're just once you realize you're in a game, just play the game and you'll be all right. You won't be a loser. You just play the
Yeah,
game.
I guess. Or I mean, you could play the game, or you could just sit on the sidelines and watch. Those are the two things. But I think that you can also, because my friend calls me apolitical. He's like,
Mm.
you don't really mess with politics, but you know what's going on. And
Yeah, there's
it's
a lot of
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I don't. That's just me. Like I don't like to play the game because I don't like. Let's put it this way: when it comes to money and my life, like my livelihood, and just money in general, to me, if you have the saying, um, like don't fuck with my money because somebody's gonna kill you, right? Well, then I don't want that to be part of the game. Does that make sense?
Right. Right. No,
So
I get you.
yeah, so for me, it's like if I go to work, I don't care if I worked on a railroad and that boss felt like he had that thing to dangle over my head,
Mhm.
that makes me dangerous. You know what I mean? like I'm already doing what I'm supposed to do. You don't add in whatever you want because you feel like you have the power, if that makes any sense.
Difference in worlds, man. Corporate America and other companies, how they handle
Yeah,
their employees.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So here's your quick questions.
Yeah, yeah.
Adidas or Nike?
Oh, Adidas. I mean,
Okay.
Adidas. If I want to be like flashy, Nikes, they're sometimes cheap and good, but you can get some dope Nikes. But I would say Adidas.
Okay. Um, well, I can't ask you this one because I already know. I'll ask anyways. Dogs or cats?
Oh, come on now, dogs all the
I
way. My
I
boy
I,
Chewy.
I know. I just say I had to ask you. That was one of my questions. Okay, so if you had to have a computer chip in your brain, or every thought that you were gonna have someone to gave it to you, which would you choose?
Man, it's a crazy question.
I'm a crazy guy.
Mm. I mean,
See,
I guess I'll go
it's not
computer
boring.
chip. I'll
You
go
put a
computer chip.
okay, so you wouldn't be afraid of the chip in your wrist.
I mean, somebody else is either like connected to me or a computer chip that can make me more efficient. All right, fuck it, let's go.
Okay, interesting.
The cell phone kind of helps me these days. You know, my short-term memory is gone with all the weed I be smoking.
That was actually one
my
of my
lo-
questions.
my
Uh,
long-term memory's there, bro. But short-term, you know, I'm like,
it's
wait,
pretty
what did I
gone.
just tell you? Yeah.
Okay. Vaping or flower?
Oh, flower 100. I mean, I used to be a strong vapor for sure, but then like, I mean, vaping like weed. I never vaped tobacco.
Okay.
But yeah, after I transitioned from the weed vaping, just went back to straight flower.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I prefer flower. I don't like the vaping.
Yeah, man, I got my raw cones right here.
Yeah.
Just roll it up and good to go.
Yeah, I got you. Um, and then the last one, uh, I'll try to make it a good one. Okay, so you like porn, like you deal with
I
them.
mean, yeah, I deal with a lot of adult content. You know, my mom was a stripper, so yeah, adult
I th-
content is like
I
pretty
think that's
natural.
dope. I think that's dope that you could say that. You know what I
It is
mean?
pretty cool. I mean, a lot of my conversations, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of lead with it. Yeah, when I'm in a group of like new people, especially like in production, like just a couple nights ago, I was with some of the team members and we're all chit chatting, and they're like, "Oh, so how'd you get into production?" I'm like, "Well, my mom was a stripper, so the
Icebreaker.
conversation." Yeah, it's and
Icebreaker.
then like everybody, you get the jaw droppers. One girl was like, "Wait, can you say that one more time?" I was like, "Yeah, my
That's
mom was a stripper." It started with like, and then they're like, "Is she retired?" I was like, "She claims she's not."
wow.
So I was like, "If she wants to go, somebody's paying at minimum 50 racks for her."
Wow.
That's how it is, because she ain't going out for no club.
Like
Like this girl,
nothing.
yeah, this girl, she's got some credits under her belt, so you better pay the racks.
So that's like that Cardi B thing.
Oh, 100. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, come on. My mom's danced, Spearmint Rhino. She's danced all the top clubs. She's traveled. And yeah, if she's going to come out, you better pay.
that's crazy.
Best believe.
Yeah. No, I think that's cool, but that's crazy. Voyeur or exhibitionist?
Oh, warrior for sure. Yeah.
Okay. That's me too. I think I'm more a voyeur. I think if I was like in Paris or something, then like a place that I know I'm not gonna know anybody, then I might be a
Mm-hmm.
little bit different because I wouldn't
Yeah.
care. Yeah.
Well,
Like
yeah. I mean, that's like Vegas. People come to Vegas to have different identities all the time, bro. I remember when I was 21, doing the single game, I was like, it was like my first weekend in Vegas. I remember I was like, ooh, I can have a different identity. All right, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be that. And then I was like, man, that's too much work. Like, I'm just fucking me. I can't
that's
be thinking of
cool.
different identities. And oh yeah, I got this mansion, this sports car. Like, I'm gonna fuck myself trying to think too
Oh,
creatively of my story and who I am. Like, fuck that. I'm just me.
I I went once with my friend John. We're still friends. He's the guy that used to rap, and I was the producer. And then
Okay.
he got me to rap. So the crazy thing is, we went to Vegas once, and it was like I think four of us, and we're all hanging out, and then two of them went one way, and then John and I went another way. We're just in the hallway. I don't know what we're doing, but I think we're trying to figure out where to go. And this girl, and I told him from the minute I saw her, I was like, she's a prostitute. Don't talk to her because there's probably a
Mhm.
cop somewhere. And he's like, oh man, you don't know. And then she asked me, what's your name or something like that. And I remember in my head, I was like, Brock Williams. Yeah. So how long have you guys been together?
So we're going 10 years together, 6 years married.
Okay.
6 years married, like this October.
We're 17 years. This year, I think, is 17 years
17.
married,
Ooh,
I
there you
believe.
go.
But we've been together like 23.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see? Yeah. So
that's
like,
dope shit.
yeah, it's insane. Sometimes I think about it, I'm like, man, I I've been with the same person. Like
You know,
some of it's like time flies, and then some of it is, you just know like that's the way, like how we talked about like the universe. And there's times where like we have issues, and I'm like, man, like how you keep telling yourself like I want to make this perfect, and
Right.
I learned a long time ago, perfect is the fact that something in your head you're able to create in reality,
Mm.
and you can't control reality, so it'll never be perfect.
Bro, Mark Cuban said it on Shark Tank one time. He said, "Perfection is the enemy of profitability." And I was like, that's so true, bro. Because there's so many times I'm just trying to be perfect on shit. And I'm like, I ain't making money off this. So don't try to be perfect. Just
Do
put it
it.
out there
Yeah.
and just do it. You
Yeah.
fucking Nike. Fucking Nike.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. True. Yeah. Because that's like the same thing with this. It's like I have the podcast, and I started feeling down because I was like, man, I only had like 66 people. And then all of a sudden, here I am going, wow, this is episode 18. And I should be proud of myself. I stuck with this, and I've been finding guests, and I'm writing the questions, and I'm doing all this, and it's like, and I'm still working, and I'm doing my music, and I'm doing my shirts. And I tell myself, man, don't think that you can't do it. You're doing it.
You're doing it, bro. Like, come on. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Hands down.
So
You got it, bro.
yeah. So I told myself, like I want to make sure I come through with this, and especially with the documentary, because it means a lot to me.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great because why we're not rushing this. It's not that something that we're just let's just try to make a quick buck or something. Like we're literally trying to do something that is a passion project. That is, we want to make we want to make this project something that people will enjoy and that's people will remember. So it's gonna be
Thank you.
good, bro. Yeah.
You
Oh
know,
no, you're good, bro. You are good. I'm glad we did this. And look, we just got to do it again. We'll have Stephanie on next time. Maybe you can maybe do an Instagram live with us.
yeah, I can do that. I, I I'm trying to get used to this.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm not really.
You did it, bro. Look, Instagram live is even easier because it's your cell phone. And when people pop on, especially when it's Stephanie's cooking show, she's cooking, she's doing everything the whole time. You're literally just as a guest, and you're like, "Damn, that looks good. What are you cooking?" Like, we're just hanging out, just like this. Like, we don't even have like I mean,
Oh, you
we
don't have
have
like
like
the backdrop.
we don't have no, it's like she's just literally in her kitchen cooking away. And I'm just producing it. So she's on camera the whole time and I pop in like at the very end.
Okay.
But
Now,
for
what if I
well,
said to her, can she do a gluten-free uh episode?
yeah,
Because I can't have
yeah,
any food.
yeah, we could do yeah, we could do gluten free. Bro, honestly that's what we do with our guests when they like come to our show. Like if they come with us and actually join us, then yeah, we cook whatever the fuck they want. Because you know,
That's cool.
their diet.
That's cool. No, she doesn't have to literally cook it. I'm saying like if she could say like, well, if you like she's cooking when she's cooking, but she says like if you need gluten free, you can use this, you can use this
Oh
instead.
yeah, no, she does. She does. She says it all the time. She's like, "Look, y'all, I go on Pinterest. I get the recipes. Y'all can sell out whatever you want. I do my own thing." She's like, "The recipe says this. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do this." So, it's like,
No,
yeah,
that's
for
cool.
sure.
I think that's really cool too. That another thing about you is and then I'll share something with you. But like I've seen like when she posts stuff and she's in like her leotards or whatever, and I'm like, man, she don't care. She just like whatever. And
Mhm.
you usually like when you're going through stuff like physically, you tend to have like a body um like I don't say more dysmorphia, but like I know like me, like I have the gluten problem, or I have like I'm allergic to everything. So then if my body I get bloated, right?
Mhm.
I wouldn't, if I was on TV, I wouldn't want to ever have my shirt off because I know I'm
Yeah,
not really big. You know what I mean? Like I know this isn't my stomach; it's just bloat. So I'm self-conscious. That's the word. And I think
yep.
that that's awesome that she's just like whatever. Like I see that.
It took her. It took a lot to get there.
Yeah.
It took literally probably up until maybe last year.
Interesting.
When I was with iFocus and we did like her first Valentine's shoot at the studio, I wasn't even the photographer. I had Curtis. He was the photographer. Um, and I wasn't even in the shoot. I was literally just in the office chilling, and they went off. And I was supposed to be the photographer. Curtis was going to be my videographer, but I was like busy in a meeting or something. And then I walk into the back room, like, oh, how long y'all been shooting? And like, we're almost done. I was like, okay, let me just watch the last like 5 minutes. Like, so yeah, that was like the first time she ever got comfortable with her body. And then now with us being on social media more actively, um, her realizing, me being in production and people just being, I guess, more accepting of us and what we do. She's like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna put our shit out there. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna go inspire people to love their bodies, and scars are scars. It's funny, the surgeon, before the surgery, when we had like our consult, he saw her scar and was like, oh, the previous doctor did a good job, but I can actually do a better job and actually like make your scar like go away. And we looked at each other and we were like, no, we want the scar. That's like
I
part of
see.
our lives now.
I got you. Yeah, mine's here. But
I see it. I see it.
mine's a plastic surgeon said the same thing. When they saw me later, they were like, I could have done a better job. And I was like, yeah, but then I won't have a story to tell.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like if my teeth turn yellow because fucking that's what happens over time, I don't give a fuck. I'm not looking to get my teeth that white. No, don't get me wrong. I see some people with some fucked up teeth. But look,
Yeah.
a little light stain here and there, I am not
Yeah.
gonna go pay money to go get my
Baking soda, baking soda. You put
You can
baking
just
soda with hydrogen peroxide, you make a paste, and you brush your teeth, you leave it there for like 5 minutes, rinse it, just as good.
look at see remedies, household remedies, bro.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
man.
talking about.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Well, yeah, no, thank you
I I
for
I,
having me on. It was
I
fun.
hope you had fun.
It was, bro.
Cool, man. And thank you for opening up, and God bless. And like I said, I'm not a see, that's the problem with me. I'm not an industry guy, I guess.
Mm.
I'm a guy that's in the industry. I
No,
think DMX
there's two
said that.
separate things. There's you're
Yeah.
in the industry or you're an industry guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in it because it's what I want to do, but I don't I don't speak. I told you this when we first started talking about this project, and I was like, I don't know how to pitch things because I don't know how to speak industry. You know what I mean?
I
So
feel you,
like,
bro.
for you, like especially you open it up and everything, and like if you just know that like I'm not a guy that's like only talking when it's about a project. Like I could,
No,
you
no.
could, you could. Okay, so cool. So like
No, I got
if
you,
you
bro. Yeah, especially if you're in Vegas, come kick it, anything, bro. Yeah.
enjoy that.
Yeah,
And
buddy. Well, anytime, man. You hit me up, obviously on the IG or on the text. Yeah, we'll talk soon, broski.
yeah, we'll do this again.
We will.
You
All right,
have a
man.
good evening, man.
Yeah,
Peace to you.
buddy.
All right. Good
Hey,
night.
I always like to say, what's next?
Yes. There you go. What's next for
Hey,
you? And,
later,
and
bro.
take care.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for watching and listening to Stories and Solution. This was a pretty cool treat, YouTube version. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave me a comment. Let us know what you think. Have a good one. Be easy.